Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. It's 1 minute past the top of the hour on this fourth day of June. Yours truly, Joe Dupree, in the building on this Work It Out Wednesday. It is another episode of Joe Dupree Live. It's a combination of hashtag Truth Be Told, Connect the Dots, Wellness Wednesday, Community Conversations. We in the building. I did say we, and I ain't speaking French. That means it has to be somebody else. And I don't walk in here every morning just by myself. I have the CEO of Pimpin' Positivity. You know her from her very own podcast, which is In the Passenger Seat with Alethea Crimmins. She also has a global magazine. A global magazine is coming out. Man, this sister doing everything. And as she said, she gonna be great in your face. I promise you, that's what she gonna be. I wouldn't be in here by myself. I don't like being in here by myself. So guess what? I brought that wonderful, smiling, lovely face of Alethea Crimmins. Good morning, Alethea.
Good
Good morning.
morning.
How are you doing on this morning?
I am great. I am up. I'm ready to get my day started. I'm ready to go work out after this. I've been trying to get in a
Oh, you've been
routine.
doing it. You've been
So,
doing it.
whew.
You've been doing it. You've been doing it. Family, good morning. Good morning. 3 minutes past the hour. It's JD Live. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook Live. We're on YouTube. You can catch us on all those platforms. You can go to our website, which is www.the100blk.com. This broadcast is being brought to you by DUBBY. You can call it Dubby, Doobie, whatever. Just know this. It is the energy drink to keep us podcasters and us gamers going. I'm telling you. And the Essence Music Festival of Culture. It is coming back to New Orleans again. And everybody knows it's about to be Essence time. Man, I was just thinking, I know it's our birthday month, your
Yes,
birthday month,
yes.
my birthday month. We got Juneteenth on this month. We got Father's Day on this month. The first day of summer is in this month. Man, June is going to be a power-packed month.
Oh, yes,
Uh,
yes.
Speaking about summer, I'm going to say something right quick. 4 minutes past the hour. I think it's going to be a very hot summer. And with that being said, make sure that y'all check out your air conditioning units because I heard early this morning, because of the tariffs and because of some of the gases that they use to fix the air conditioners to make it cool, a lot of that stuff is in shortage. So that means if your air conditioning go down, it's going to cost a pretty penny to get it back up. And they may not be able to get it back up because they might not have the parts or the gas. These tariffs are a monster. I just want to throw that out there again. You know, I ain't talking about nobody. Don't get me wrong. Because listen, you voted for who you voted for. And I
Okay,
respect the
okay.
vote. I respect the process. I respect the system. But man, I ain't feeling the relief I heard that was going to come because certain folks say on day one, they were going to make egg prices drop. They were going to do this. They were going to do that. I ain't seen none of that happen. I'm just saying. Maybe I just don't live at the right place. Have you seen any of that? Maybe Alethea seen it happen. Alethea, you saw it happen?
I wish I did. I wish
Okay,
that when
I'm
I
just
went
asking.
to the grocery store, I see some relief. I wish that when I went certain places, I was, but no, like I'm not seeing this great thing that was supposed to happen, but maybe it's not meant to to happen for people like us because we're not in that tax bracket.
Yeah, I'm just saying. I'm just saying. Look, good morning. It's Working Out Wednesday.
Good
Five
morning.
minutes 5 minutes past the hour. I'm not trying to be ugly. I'm just saying I'm a little confused. Sometimes, you know, you get
We are telling the truth, and it is what it is. Well, if somebody else listening has had some relief, please let us know
yeah,
because
put it in the
I
tell us where
I
the
want
prices
some
are
some
cheaper
some
at.
relief
Right,
too. I
right.
need
We want to know.
to know what to go.
We need to know where the cheaper. Listen, I even was thinking about this. You know, it's school is getting out all over the place. School is out, of course, where we live, and other places like up north, other places. School is getting out. It's the summer months. I was even looking at hotel prices, Alethea. Hotel prices are sky high.
Extremely high. Extremely
Sky
high.
high. And I'm like, wait a minute. Somebody told me that things were going to get better and cheaper. And, and here's the crazy thing. It looks like the cost of goods and services are getting higher. But when I look at my wages,
They remain the same.
let me say, when I look at my wages, man, let me
So
hold
I
on.
mean, something needs to shake. Okay, some something needs to shake because if our cost of living is getting higher, then the wages needs to match because that's how it is in like other states and cities. Like my daughter came from Washington. Minimum wage is like for 14 $15 because the cost of living is so high. So if the cost of living is going up, then the wages should also match.
Mm, mm,
So you're wanting more people to rely on this broken system. You're wanting more people to not be able to take care of their families because they can't afford to.
mm. That's
So
just
who
something to
is
think
this
about.
really helping?
Yeah, it's just something to think about. Something that I think not only should we be in prayer about, because I think you should be in prayer about everything. It's something that you should consider when you go to the ballot box and you vote for folks. You should ask yourself, I heard what the person said. Is it a promise given? And then sooner or later, you got to check off the box that says promise kept. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, Alethea. I'm getting to the point with people. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say, I don't mind you giving me a promise, but the question is, can I check off the box and say you kept the promise? And I think that needs to be that's how I'm moving forward. I'm moving forward with I don't mind you. You can promise me whatever. You can say whatever, but will I be able to check off a box in what I call a reasonable amount of time that says what you said you delivered on? See, that's the point. We're not holding people accountable. We let them say what they say, but then when we go back and look at what they said and we ask ourselves, have they delivered on what they said in a reasonable amount of time? Because it's got to be a give and take. Since I'm the receiver, I got to understand it may take a little time to get these things in progress and get the ball started where it shows up and manifests. But somewhere there has to be a manifestation. I have to be able to check off the box and say, what you said, you delivered on. And if not, I can't keep on going to the ballot box and putting you in office. I can't. I don't know about
So
other folks. I can't.
you said that we don't hold people accountable.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, they do, but they just have to look a certain way.
Okay. Oh,
They hold certain people that look a certain way accountable because had this been presidents before last,
mm.
they would have held him accountable for everything that came out of his mouth.
And that's why I'm so bothered about how divided we are, Alethea. It's 10 minutes past the hour. It's Work It Out Wednesday, and maybe we need to work this out. I said it yesterday, and once again, my prayers go out to all the victims that were involved in the terrorist attack in Boulder, Colorado. But when are we going to start being human beings again? Just humans, you know, because we just have so much to divide us. I understand there are things that naturally divide us. Like, for example, you're a woman, I'm a man. That's a natural divide. Ain't nothing I can do about that. However, if I take those two labels off, we're still human beings. We still breathe the same air, bleed the same blood. The last time I checked, minus a few reproductive organs, you have the same bone in your arm that I have in mine. You have the same number of ribs that I have. You have the same heart. You said your if I cut my heart out or they cut your heart out, they may look a little different, but they're not going to be two different hearts. They're going to have the same chambers, the same arteries going. I mean, We're human beings. And it saddens me how we just put stuff division. I'm Republican, I'm Democrat. Okay, you have certain belief systems. We all do. I'm Muslim, I'm Christian. But when are we going to start being human beings to one another and love one another? Because ultimately, we all believe that we were created from the same creator. Most of us do. And those who don't, at the end of the day, you can't deny that you got the same bone in your arm that I got in mine. It's the same. It might be bigger, it might be smaller, it might be longer, it might be stronger, but it's the same bone. It's the same. That bone right there is the same bone no matter who I touch. If I go touch somebody I don't know and I touch that bone, it's the same bone. It's got the same name.
But
I'm
if you
just saying.
don't understand how other people live their life, if you don't understand why other people look the way that they look, your non understanding becomes ignorance, and that ignorance turns into hate because you don't understand it. Therefore, you don't like it because you can't wrap your mind around it. Just because something is different doesn't make it bad. Just because something is different doesn't mean that you have to be threatened by it. But instead of you getting some type of clarity on it, you would rather hate, and you would rather divide, just because you're different than I am. I don't understand it. You may be a threat, so now I'm bothered.
Mm, mm. That is that's just sad because I believe we have much more in common that brings us together than things that divide us. I really do. I
We
really
do.
do.
I literally I sat down. I had a conversation with someone who I met, and we just started talking about marriage.
Hmm.
And there was a lot of things in my marriage that she was like, "Oh wow, like it's the did you think that my marriage was different than yours? Like it's the exact same thing." She was like, "Oh, what was will you go through this too?" Yes, because we're married. Like it's a marriage. So just because my marriage looks different than yours doesn't mean that we don't go through the same thing. My marriage just looks different than yours. So I had to take some time to explain, and I was open to any and all questions because it gave her a better understanding, and she didn't look at my marriage different than hers after we left.
That's what I'm
It
talking
was
about.
just a marriage.
Sometimes it takes a little dialogue to make people understand there are things that bring us closer together than it does divide us. It is 15 minutes past the hour. And speaking of which, it is June and it is Pride Month. It is also Men's Mental Health Month. So happy Pride Month to those who are out there celebrating Pride Month. For you brothers out there, you men, uh, get you a mental health checkup.
It
I'm
is
telling
mental
you.
health month.
Yeah, listen, y'all, just like you go get a physical checkup, it's nothing wrong with getting a mental health checkup. Why? Because a healthy you is a better you, and we need you holistically healthy. That means mind, body, and soul. So, men, get it together. I'm going to try to get my brother Chris Morant to come on here and talk about the importance of sitting down with a counselor or with a clinician or with a psychologist to just make sure that you're all right. Because let me say something. It's not okay to be not okay, but walk around and act like you okay. I want to say that again. It's not okay to walk around and act like you okay when you know you're not okay. Mental illness is real. I'm going through a training this week where I'm working with the National Center for Missing Children and Exploited Children. And man, when you find out what's really going on from a training point of view, to see in the social media world, how children. Now I'm not talking about adults. Now listen to what I'm saying here. I'm not talking about adults that make choices. Your choice is your choice. But when you see how children are being sexually exploited and trafficked, you come to find out that, man, there's a lot going on in this world that many of us are oblivious to. We don't even know. It's going on in plain sight. There are emojis and things being said on social media every day, which is straight up modern day pimping. Modern day, they done found out a way to be modern day pimping. And you'd be surprised. We just had here in Louisiana, we just had the Super Bowl. You'd be surprised how many children were trafficked, sexually trafficked during these big events like the Super Bowl, like these big festivals, like these, and these cats be on, these backyard, barnyard pimps be on Facebook pushing them. Hey, me and my stable, we headed down to New Orleans for the Super Bowl. Meet us at the Super Bowl, baby. We down there. I got what you need. And you say, wow, and it's sad. And then you come to find out how many folks who think they got an innocent girl or boy at home. I heard the story yesterday of an individual, a young man who was a straight A student, uh, wonderful guy, played varsity soccer, was a good kid, was being sexually abused and exploited by his own family.
Mm.
I mean, being pushed out, you know, by his own family to other men who were doing to the point this boy was so sexually abused he couldn't have children.
So just imagine carrying that. Just
Wow.
carrying that in silence, carrying that throughout your day to day, carrying that load on you, and you can't say anything to anybody. This is why it is important to talk to your children. This is why it is important to get them to open up, because you never know what is going on. I had a talk with my son because I wanted to know what was going on, and he told me some things, but he said that the reason why he felt like he couldn't talk is because he felt that he was a burden.
Mm,
I am speaking to every parent out there, never be too busy for your
mm,
children. Put that phone down, put that laptop down, take the call later, take the text later. Notice your kids. And if
mm,
they say that they need to talk, drop everything and talk to them. Never make your children feel like they are a burden on you.
mm, that we ringing the bell for 20 minutes past the hour. Yeah, and it is the summer months, and the children are out of school. Pay attention to your children while they're out of school. Understand, and I'm gonna say this. I'm not pointing fingers at nobody. I say this in a loving way. I understand that school for some parents, because of their social economic situation, school is really the place that allows you to go work
Hmm.
and do what you need to do while your kids are in a safe space that hey, they're there learning. Now school is out, and sadly, you know, and that's why I just know we've got to reform the social network of this country. There is, and I want to acknowledge some things. There are people who abuse the system, but there are folks who need the system. I'll say that again. There are folks who abuse the system. There are habitual abusers of the system. I'm pretty sure, as somebody once said to me, it really does bother me when people have the mentality, I want to drive a Range Rover, I want to live in $1 million house,
Ah,
but I want to pull up to the grocery store with an EBT card.
ah.
I'm just saying, and I don't want folks to get mad at me when I say that, because folks will try to say, "Well, what are you saying?" I'm saying you can't have $1 million mindset, but you want to walk inside Walmart with an EBT card. You can't be
Make
talking
it make
billionaire,
sense.
right? You can't be talking billionaire talk around me. You can't be telling me how you gonna get rich and die trying, but you quick to want to pull out an EBT card. EBT card are for folks who are socially, economically deprived, who cannot afford. Hold it. Most people with EBT cards really can't barely afford public transportation, nevertheless a luxury car. I said what I said. And if you don't hold it, better yet, the phone number underneath there. If you got a problem with it, hey,
Listen,
I'm just saying.
listen, because that is crazy talk to me. For 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 me, I feel like we need to bring back the village mentality. We need to bring that back, and that would help a lot of parents, that would help a lot of kids if we brought back that village, because it does take a village, but we no longer have that village mentality. Bring back all these summer camps. Everything is not about a dollar.
Right.
Everything is not there used to be some summer camps that were absolutely free. Now it is all about making money. Some of these parents don't have it.
Right.
So,
Right.
so
That
I
part.
I can't so like, well, send your kids to camp. Well, now camp is like 300 and something that I cannot afford to send my kids to camp. I can barely afford to feed my kids, much less send my kids to camp so I can go to work. So what that does is that leaves my child at home by themselves to fend for themselves.
Right. 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 I mean, we really got to we've got to understand that everybody ain't got it like you got it. And what do we do for those who are less fortunate but have great potential? Let me say that again. What do we do for those who are less fortunate that have great potential? Yesterday I heard a quote and it moved me so much I posted it on my page. When a flower doesn't bloom, I want you to think about this. When a flower is planted but it doesn't bloom, maybe first you need to fix the environment in which it grows
Mm.
before you start looking at what's the problem with the flower. Maybe our problem is we plant flowers, they don't grow, and we say, well, there's something wrong with the flower. Maybe nothing is wrong with the flower. Maybe the soil that you put it in isn't conducive, or the condition or the environment is conducive for that flower to thrive and to grow and to make it. Maybe our problem is we're so busy criticizing the flower, we never took time out to look at what soil did we plant this flower in? Was the environment conducive for this flower to grow in? Where is this in a place and a position where it can thrive, or did we put it somewhere where no matter how glorious this flower could be, there's too
Not gonna
many
grow.
weeds around it that's going to choke it out? I'm
Mm.
just saying, I just got to ask that question because I see too many highly talented folks. For example, right now in the green room, getting ready to talk about sports in the next 5 minutes, is a highly talented brother. When the first day I met this brother, I said, this brother here, this brother got what it takes. Elijah Nixon is my dude. I ain't saying that because he on the show. He was my dude if he wasn't on the show. I meet multi-talented people and I say, why are these people not growing, thriving? Why are they not doing greater things? And I say to myself, and then here's the crazy thing. Instead of us talking about the environment, people will criticize Elijah. People will criticize Alethea. People will criticize Joe. People will criticize this lady right here, Jax, the art
But
therapist, the life strategist, the speaker to Arthur. They'll criticize her. They won't look at the environment in which she was planted in. They won't say, well, maybe this environment ain't conducive for her to grow. Go ahead,
and
Alethea.
you can't, you have to also realize that you can't plant all types of different flowers together in the same environment, because what I've learned is weeds look like flowers too.
Mm.
That's right.
So you cannot plant all different types of flowers in the same garden, because some flowers will keep other flowers from growing, because weeds don't want these flowers to grow, and they will keep them
Compatibility.
from growing. So you have to be careful. fir- First of all, where you plant your seed, and
Mhm.
what you plant your seed with.
That's right.
Mm,
That's right.
mm,
And then on top of it, Alethea, after that, then you have to realize you got to bloom where you're planted. It doesn't matter where you are planted, you still got to
Mm.
bloom. You know, I
right.
was talking to a young man yesterday. I was at a meeting with one of my partners, and I'm speaking to this young man, and I look down, and he has on a big old ankle monitor, right? And he looks like a baby. He looks like the cutest little baby. And so I was like, "Well, what the heck you doing with that thing on your ankle?" And he was like, "I had a gun." I'm like, "You had a gun?" I'm like, "Tell me about it. Like what happened?" He was like, "I was following around my big brother, and we had guns, and we got caught." I said, "How old are you?" He said, "I'm 14." But he was the cutest, most sweet, innocent looking little boy with this big ass ankle monitor on, wider than his little leg.
Mm,
So we had a long talk. I said, "What do you want to be when you grow up?" He was like, "I don't know." I said, "So you know what?" I said, "This is what I need you to do every day." I said, "Imagine yourself when you grow up, you have a beautiful wife, a beautiful house, beautiful car, beautiful children that look just like you." I said, "Ask yourself, when I go out the door in the morning to go to work, where do I see myself going to?" Because he had no vision, no clue, no nothing. And so I
because he
said,
has
once
no
you start,
direction. Jax,
no
because
direction.
nobody see, once again, we've got the accountability and
That's
responsibility
right.
falls a great deal on us adults. What are we doing to those who are lost? Why are we not being
Mhm.
kings and queens to individuals who are not inside our sphere? See,
Yes.
a king runs a kingdom. I understand that you got to be first control of your own household and making sure that you got certain things in order and in place and in space.
Hmm.
But once again, when are we as men going to see other black men, especially
Hmm.
these young black men, and not have the fear that we're scared of our own young brothers who look just like we looked when we
Yeah.
were their age? That we don't go to them and say, "Hey, young man, can I holler at you? Can Unc holler at you for
Hmm.
a minute?
Hmm.
Can Unc holler at you for a minute?" Brother, there's a better way to do it. At least you planted the seed. Because guess what?
Yeah.
A lot of these young men say these older brothers don't even speak to me. They
Yeah. No,
don't even say,
absolutely.
they walk right by me. And I don't have a problem walking by young men. Jax went off. Wait a minute. Come back,
Um,
Jax.
yeah,
Jax.
I listen. I went
Hold on.
to to the to the boys and girls club recently, and I spoke, and just like Jax was like asking them what they wanted to be when they grew up. And I did a couple of like one-on-ones, and I just talked to him, and I asked this one young boy. I said, "Hey, what do you want to be when you grow up?" And every time I think about this, like, it gets me kind of choked up. His answer was alive,
Mm,
and it- I was like, "Oh, okay." And that was his answer. Like, he didn't say, I want to be a doctor, lawyer, or this or that. He said, "I want to be alive."
mm, mm. Well,
Like,
family,
just let that
mm,
sit. Like,
let that sit and sink in for a minute. Let that sit and sink in for a minute. It is the bottom of the hour. It is 30 minutes past the hour, and it is time for my man Elijah Nixon to come in from the Fritz Take. You see them? They everywhere. They everywhere. You can listen to them everywhere. They talk sports anywhere, everywhere. Jax is back. I'm gonna bring her back in. And last but not least, let me bring in my man, Elijah. What's up, brother? What's happening?
Good morning. I see you guys. You guys have some good topics right now.
Man,
You
hey,
know,
hey, 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 all I need now is to make a call down to New Orleans and tell Zion I need you to get on where you can explain to these brothers, be careful where you plant your seed.
That's
I,
it.
Ooh.
well, I
Ooh.
let me leave Zion alone. Let me leave Zion alone. Let me leave
But,
Zion alone.
but in the world of sports, circling back to my Knicks, what's been the hottest thing out there. Tom Thibodeau has gotten fired yesterday, either after leaving
Hmm.
the Knicks for a 51-31 season. Um, they go to
They
the
let
East.
the coach go? They let
They
the coach.
they let Coach Tom Thibodeau go after that
Hmm.
remarkable season, going to the Eastern Conference Finals. Um, before I'm gonna dive right into it by saying, as a Knicks fan, I have a Yankees hat on, but I'm gonna go back just to make it like it's Knicks.
Mhm.
I think this was a move that it's a bittersweet move. I think Tom Thibodeau is one of those guys that's going to get you somewhere. He did it with Derrick Rose. They couldn't get over the hump because I was playing LeBron James. He did it with New York. Couldn't get over the hump against Indiana in the last 2 seasons. And I think it was the right move for the simple fact that the Knicks fans and Knicks players want to get to a championship, which they haven't seen since the '60s. So with Tom Thibodeau, it's a bittersweet because.
Wait a minute. Say that. Wait a minute. You mean the Dallas Cowboys done seen a championship before the Knicks?
Yeah.
I'm just asking. I mean, the Cowboys in Dallas, which I'm anti. Hold on. Let me get it clear. Where nobody has it confused. We got rings. We got rings. But you mean the Knicks ain't seen a championship since the '60s?
No, I haven't seen one. And
that means you ain't seen a champion. Because listen, I was born in '67, and I know I'm well seasoned. I ain't gonna say I'm old. I'm just well seasoned. That means my.
So yeah, but I think. But now, where do you go as a head coach? Because who's out there? Who can you grab? How can you get this roster going? We don't know.
Bring Phil Jackson back.
Man, I'll tell you about that. Then I'm going to the next. Phil Jackson came to the Knicks, and I had all the hope in the world. And it was probably about 2018, I think this was. He was the GM, and he made the Knicks worse. He was sleeping on the rock. Like, it was bringing in LaMarcus Aldridge. I never get the story. They brought in LaMarcus Aldridge on a visit. LaMarcus Aldridge wanted to sign. He falls asleep in the meeting. LaMarcus Aldridge goes elsewhere. I forget where he goes, but he goes elsewhere. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing, Phil? He was there for a check. I'm not mad at it. Get you a check, but don't disappoint us. We want to go to games and we want to see some wins, but I don't know where they go. But I think that whatever move it should be.
So Elijah, I do want to go to a crazy place since I did bring up Zion, and of course, a lot of people are tripping about Travis Hunter getting married. What's going on with some of these? What's going on with some of these relationships between these players and these? I ain't even got a name for them. I'm just saying. Now look, you do what you want to do and make babies with who you want to, but somebody told me, I actually had somebody look me in the eye and say, you got to be careful who you make these babies with. So, and then you got to think about your boy, was it Ant-Man? It was Ant-Man. Wasn't Ant-Man? He made a baby with somebody he didn't want to make the baby with. And he said, look, I'm going to pay you all 18 years of child support. Here's a check for all 18 years. Don't you ask me for another dime.
Well, Joe, you just said it best before you started, but we were talking about something else. But this also relates. Men, be careful where you plant your seed.
Yeah. Jax, cut your mic on. I know you want to come on in. I'm just asking what's going on here. Hold it. Now I got to say, hold it. That's straight gangster. What Ant-Man did. That's gangster. That's gangster when you say, hold up. We're going to settle this right quick. Here's one check for all 18 years of child support.
Do not bother me no more.
He hit it with the Chris Rock in Friday. Don't you come over here again.
That's right. But you know what? The flip side of it, these brothers got to be careful where they plant their seed, but these sisters also got to be careful whose seed they receive. And quite often they ain't ready for all of that conversation.
Okay.
Oh, say that one again, Jax. Hold it.
The sisters have to be careful what seed they receive.
And here's what gets me. Now, look, I'm just gonna say this, Elijah, because we all know in professional sports there are a lot of babies and baby mamas. We all still laugh, and I laugh every time I see the video because I see it constantly. When you see Deion walking out on senior day with both his sons, and here comes their son's mother, and Dion makes Dion said, "Her get some Megatroid. I saw this in the cartoons. Let me exit stage left." And I mean, he exit stage left like I ain't got nothing to do with this. Here's my question, and I hate to say it this way, but I am going to say it. Where did the love go? Because I promise you, when these children were made, y'all wasn't mad and going into the other room huffing and puffing after y'all made it. Oh, the day these children were conceived, it was joy and happiness in the house. I promise you. Might be a little tiredness, but there was joy and happiness in the house. I'm just saying. I mean, what's wrong with us with that? What is wrong with us?
I think the internet try to perceive what love really is, and it got in these young guys' minds. I mean, there's nothing wrong with Travis Hunter marrying the girl of his dreams, but then you got the louder comments. I mean, there's people congratulating them all over, but the louder comments are, watch her. Those are the louder comments. Watch her because she's gonna try to take your money and get away and get up out of there. Those are the louder comments, not the comments that we are saying congratulations. Just like with some of these other relationships, like it's social media. Social media has ruined everything. They think that guys, and I'm not saying this is absolutely true, but guys should come up with the money, girls should try to take the money and go. That's the best thing to do. That's what's in music, that's what's in social media, that's what's in everything nowadays. So social media has really ruined what we call love. And it's sad to see, because there's some people that really still want to get married, but they're listening to so many different comments that's on the internet, so many different friends that's in their ear telling them this is the wrong thing to do. And I don't know I can't give you the answer how to get back to it, but it got to be somebody who can lead by example and show something in that nature.
And I think let me say this, and I'm gonna let the ladies speak in on it. You know, Elijah, the thing that bothers me the most is there are positive love stories out there. There are there are positive love stories out there. There are the Denzel Washingtons who have been married to the same wife. You know, there are the Morris Chestnuts, but we don't talk about his relationship with his wife. There are the positive relationships that are out there where the husband and the wife worked out and everything went well. We just don't talk. It seems to be we're better on loving hip hop wives, housewives. We're full of wanting to have drama in front of us. When Drewski, no offense to my brother if he's watching, but when Drewski has went from a zero to a hero overnight, I ask myself, what are we putting into our eye gates, our ear gates, and into our psyche? I'm just asking.
You know what, George? It's so crazy. I was at this building yesterday, right? And this it's a rec center, and this young girl, 14 years old, beautiful little girl, wanted to get in, but she got kicked out, right? So the basketball coach had kicked her out, and she doesn't play ball, but they have open gym for the kids. So, you know me, I jump in, take in a classroom. We have a little, therapy session. And so she's saying that I just want to be like my big sister. But the problem is, my big sister, all she wants to be is a baddie, right? And so it broke my heart because like her sister's
So
goal
wait a
is to
minute, why
be
did he
like
kick
Love
her
and Hip
out?
Hop.
I want to know why he kicked her out.
Because she had so I talked to him afterwards. He said because she has an attitude. She's always rolling her eyes. She's always talking reckless to grown-ups, and
Mm.
being disrespectful. So when I said to her privately without him, I said, look, I said, when coach says something to you, is he saying it to you to hurt you or to make you be better? And she put her head down and looked up. She said, you know what? He's just telling me stuff to make me be better. And I said, exactly. So you have to receive this positive male influence, in your life. He's just trying to help you to be better because he knows you're a good girl. But she's like, yeah, but I just want to be a baddie like my sister.
Mm.
Sad, right, y'all?
So it's the examples that they are being shown.
Exactly.
It is. Listen, don't be a good girl. Be a baddie. Be confrontational. Be
Exactly.
sassy. Be. I'm telling you. I mean, you can click on social media right now, and I promise you, you can't scroll 4 different posts down and listen.
Yeah.
Women who have beautiful bodies and you look good, hey, I get it. I respect it. But you got to understand, this is also going into the eye gates of these young girls who are coming up. And once they start hitting puberty and things start happening, they say, hey, I can do this too. Because it looks like the ones who look this way and show this and show that, they're the ones with the flashy cars, the jewelries, they're at the parties, they're doing this, that, these, and the
Yeah.
third. And on the flip side, that's why the guys are out there throwing cash. I'm like, dude, I ain't trying to, man, please, you better, somebody need to teach y'all how to save some cash instead of out here burning cash like this. And it's just crazy how the social media world will just convince everybody to go out there and get rich or die trying by
That's
any
right.
means necessary. And they doing all kind of craziness. And then they want to know why then folks are in a situation like Diddy in right now.
Mhm.
Why? Wait a minute. But Diddy, so much is going on in the background that you don't know what these folks did to get what they got to get to where they at.
That casting couch is real, and also a lot of these young ladies, they grow up with aspirations to be one of those chicks, right?
Mm.
And we got to think about it, like in the Black community, it's not often that our parents are raising us to get a man that has XYZ, right? So we, many times as Black women especially, we getting a man and being with a man because we love them, right? We're not looking at really anything else. I love him or I love her, right? But a lot of other cultures and communities say like, no, you need to make sure he has money. If he's going to college and plays sports, you stick it out with him and do whatever you got to do the whole time, so that you can get that ring in the end. And they'll
Make
do
it
it, and then they get the
investment.
ring, and then they out.
Yeah, go ahead,
marriage
Alicia.
marriage has turned into, it's not marrying you because I love you.
Yeah,
Marriage has become transactional.
absolutely.
That's what marriage is now. And stay with this man. I don't care if
Mhm.
this man calls you out your name, treat you bad. Stay with this man because this man got money. And giving
Mhm.
back to what you said, Jax, and you, Joe, like they have created an entire show about
Yeah.
women beating each other up and doing absolutely nothing. And this show is one of the biggest and this is what
Mhm.
these young girls see, and they want to be baddies. They have
Mhm.
created, and now there's even a male version of this show
Mhm.
where they literally just go on TV to beat each other up.
Just to have beef. Just to have beef.
That's what happens.
Literally fighting to where there's like blood and teeth missing and all this other. What? And this is what these girls want to be, but this is also who these athletes have babies with.
Mm, mm.
And that's
Well,
the thing. And that's the thing. And
I'm just saying.
my message for both, starting with the ladies. I know there's ladies out there that's baddies, right? And they take these pictures, but they got to remember the internet is not a real place. Because let me tell you something. Most of them got men, and most of them don't act how they perceive they are on that thing. I know. Trust me, I know some of them not going to say whatever, but I know this. They take all the pictures by themselves. But when you know them in real life, oh yeah, this is my boyfriend right here. Oh, but on the internet don't look like. Trust me, I know.
Hey, Odin. And once again, y'all check out Fritz Take with my man. And it's not only Jamarcus by himself. Jamarcus, who you be rolling with on the Fritz Take, man?
He roll with me. I'm Elijah. So Jamarcus and Elijah.
Right, Jamarcus and Elijah. Man, look at me. See, man, I need coffee in the morning. You see, all I got was this, and that wasn't enough.
Yeah, Jamarcus and myself, we building a platform, still trying to go Fitz Take. It's on YouTube, Apple Music, Spotify, iHeart, wherever you want to listen to it. We have it, and we have it on YouTube if you want a visual to go with the audio. So thank you again, Joe.
Hey, man, we got love for you, brother. You know how it goes. So, brother, I appreciate you. You have a great day. We're going to talk more sports in the morning. It will be Turn Up Thursday, Turn Down for what? So we're going to turn up in the sports world because I'm going to say it. I'll holler at you, my brother. I'll holler at you. That is my man right there, Elijah Nixon. You can catch him and Jamarcus doing their thing. It's the Fritz Takes. He's in here talking sports. So now I'm back with my ladies.
Yes.
As we get ready to do 14 minutes to the top of the hour. We're getting ready to close this thing down. 1 hour of power. But listen, pay attention. Summer is here. I know
Mhm.
y'all walking around, in your summertime clothes. I don't need to see everything. Let me give you young ladies some advice from hold it. Let me hit her with the Martin from an old player from the Himalayas.
Rome, Rome.
Hey, y'all ain't got to show everything. Leave
That's right.
some things
To the
to the
imagination.
imagination. I'm telling you, listen, I might need to go ahead and do a series on from the old school young men, this is how you present yourself, and from the old school young ladies, this is how you want
Mhm.
somewhat of your man to look like. Understand, it don't fit for everybody,
That's
but
right.
you know this. Do know this. I believe we can do better. I believe we can educate our children better. I believe we can tell them our mistakes, our flaws, and the
Mhm.
things that we've done wrong, where we will instill in them what not to do wrong.
That's right.
I tell them all the time, you're gonna make your own set of mistakes. I just don't need you to make your daddy's mistakes because your daddy done made mistakes.
Exactly. And you know what, Joe? Look, I got a couple things. So the first thing is, Alicia, let me know, and Joe, let me know, when did a suction or a wedgie become sexy, right?
What?
Have, I'm like, what in the hell? These girls walking around with their little pants on, little um
Diapers and stuff and things of that nature.
What?
yeah,
Like,
Wait a
what?
minute.
Why
exactly.
are you
I
walking
tell y'all,
around looking
these
like
gray hair,
this?
these gray hairs ain't here for no reason. The hell are y'all talking about?
No, like,
Joe, these girls walk around with their little Lululemon like biker shorts on, or like leggings or whatever. But like
Okay.
everything now, a lot of the pants you'll notice it on social media as well. Like it'll be like a wedge, like a suction, like the seam will be straight up the crack of their ass, right?
yep.
Back in the day, girls couldn't stand no wedgie, or you don't want your pants all up in the crack of your ass. But nowadays they walk
Oh,
around like it's
yes.
sexy with
Oh,
showing their whole damn
yes.
ass cheeks, which is crazy. But look,
Or they're
yeah,
they're they're wearing these like diapers now. It literally looks like an adult diaper, but
uh-huh,
it's made of fabric, and literally your entire ass is out. Like you're in Walmart, Target,
yeah,
where children are. Like you're in parks where children are with
yep.
your entire ass out.
Exactly,
Mm,
exactly. Oh my
mm.
God, it's crazy. It's crazy. So now, Joe, let's go back to what you was just saying also in terms of your children not making the same mistakes you made, right?
Right.
Now we have a thing in our community sometimes like, well, you did it when you was a kid. Well, damn it, I'm a parent now. I don't want the same sin that I had to ensnare my children.
Yes.
So we have to normalize teaching our children to not let the same sins that we endured and things we did in battle ensnare them, and our family members have to learn like it's not okay to tell those other kids it's okay your mama did it, or it's okay your daddy did it. Who are they to tell you don't do it? That's the most ignorant bull crap I've ever heard in my life, and it happens all the time.
Yes, it
I mean,
does.
I mean, it is cliche-ish, but
Hmm.
we've got to do better. And it
Yes.
begins with these type of conversations because
Hmm.
if you continue to conversate about it, you become cognizant about it, and then you
Hmm.
begin to make the change because you catch yourself. You say,
Absolutely.
"Oh, I shouldn't do." Wait a minute,
Hmm.
I heard that, and because the person told me, "Y'all sound cliche-ish. Y'all keep on saying it. I'm tired of saying it." No, you can't be tired of saying it until you see a positive change, and you don't have to say it no more because it ain't
Hmm.
happening. That's when you get tired of saying it. It
Yeah.
is cliche-ish, and we will continue saying it until we see the change that we believe needs to manifest and come forth. Because guess what? You don't stop taking your medicine until you become well.
Hmm. That's right.
Let me say that again. You don't stop taking your I'm tired of taking this medicine. Then guess what? You will be a diabetic for the rest of your life
That's right.
until
Yep.
it kills you.
Take that
See,
phone to the
if you
arm. Yep.
right. If you don't take your medicine,
Hmm.
hold it. If you don't take the medicine to cure the cold will get worse until the cold takes you over and kills you.
Yep.
So no, we've got to keep being cliche-ish, and
That's
we got
right.
to keep saying what we got to say until the community is healed, until the community says, "Huh, wait a minute." Till a young man walks outside the door and looks down and says, "Oh shoot, I got to pull my pants up
Exactly, Joe. And
because
guess what? We don't have the
I'm
same
tired
viewers
of
or
hearing this."
listeners every day. You know, we have different people that chime in. So just because
Right.
one person heard it, if they hear
Right.
us repeat something, just ignore it and keep it moving. And guess what? You might have heard us say something 1,000 times, but it didn't hit you. It will be
Right.
one day where we say it and it's like, dang, that's
Mm.
transformative. And you know what? I need to apply that to my life. So just receive it. Just receive it. Because guess what? We're going to keep on saying it, y'all. We're going to keep on saying what we say.
Period.
Period. That's
So it
right.
is 9 minutes to the top of the hour. 1 hour of power. It is myself, Sister Alethea, Sister Jax. We are in the building. Elijah comes in. We break up the monotony of talking about community and mental health and what's going on with some sports. And we're giving you 1 hour of power. Guess what? We may move this hour around. It might be, in the morning. It might be in the evening. It might come once in the morning, once in the evening. We just wanted to jump in here and let you know that we're back because we know the conversation is necessary. And we
Mhm.
definitely want to tell you that as Jack say, we love you and you mean the world to us. As Alethea always say, we're gonna be great in your face. And if you don't like it, you can always turn it off and watch whatever it is you want to like. But we back in the building. So
That's right.
just so blessed to be with these lovely ladies and for us to do our thing and to do what we do. So it's
That's
yours
right.
truly,
That's
Joe
right.
Dupree. You see Alethea Crimmins, you see Sister Jax. We all in the building. Alethea, of course, got her own podcast in the passenger seat with Alethea Crimmins.
Yes.
Alethea, myself, and Ignatius will all be at the Essence Music Festival of Culture. Yeah, we back at
Mhm.
Essence again. We're going to be talking more about that. Juneteenth is coming up. Alethea's birthday is coming up. After Alethea's birthday, King was born. My birthday coming up, and we all
Uh,
are just in here doing what we do. So look, it's time for us to begin to make our way out the door. Why?
wait, you know
Because
what, Joe? Real quick.
what?
Look, I see my zoom in, right? My camera, for some reason, I kept turning my phone sideways like we usually do it for the proper, frame. But
Uh-huh.
for some reason today, I kept logging in and logging out. It only has me straight like this, right? But now I zoom and I'm like, yo, I look like a light skinned Easy E. I like to
You,
say, F the police,
yeah.
F the police.
Yeah,
Except for Joe,
I
except for Joe's
cannot.
husband. But that's what I look like right now.
I cannot.
So with that being said, let me start off with you, Jax. Give me some closing words since you tried to be easy. Come on, give me
I
some
know.
closing
Easy.
words.
I don't want his demise though. I don't want that. I don't want that. But anyway, to everyone, have an amazing day. Just know that you are blessed. You have another chance to get it right. If God put breath in your lungs for you in your ability to rise this morning, just make it a great day. Make it a great day. Be kind to others. And if nobody told you today, it's early. Start your day with love. Just know who loves you, y'all. Your sister Jax loves you. Until I see you next time, see you soon. Peace out. Be blessed.
That's what I'm talking about. Sister Alethea, give us some closing words. I know you're getting ready to work it out on this Work It Out Wednesday. Talk to me.
Let me just be the one to tell you that it is okay to take that armor off. It is okay to say I'm tired. It is okay to ask for help. It does not make you weak, it makes you human.
Mm.
It is okay not to be okay. That is how you continue to be great in your own face so you can go out there and be extraordinary in theirs, and you will and always will have a good day on purpose. Yeah? You're welcome.
That part, y'all, we have made it through Monday, Tuesday. It is Wednesday. Work It Out Wednesday. It's hump day. And we've given you 1 hour of power. Yours truly, Joe Dupree, along with Alethea Crimmins, Sister Jax, my man Elijah Nixon with sports and family. It is 5 minutes, 5 minutes to the top of the hour. Listen, as you get this day started, always remember, as I always say, be better today than you were yesterday. And do something today that no matter what you do or to whom you do it to, there's no earthly way it can be paid back to you because you release it freely. That's how you grow and get your blessings. And always remember, when I say always, I mean always remember that there is no secret what God can do. Absolutely no secret what God can do. What he has done for others, he will and he can do for you. For when God is with you, nothing or no one can stand against you. Be blessed. Have a wonderful day. Thank you for tuning in. Share this with a friend. Tell a friend to tell a friend. It is Joe Dupree live in the morning. It's the JDMS. Brought to you by the following folks. DUBBY. You can call it Doobie, Dubby, whatever you want to do, but it is the energy drink that keeps us podcasters and gamers going. You can find out more information by going to my social media, DUBBY, or you can go to my website, which is www.the100blk.com. The Essence Music Festival of Culture coming back to New Orleans in July, 4th of July weekend. Essence will be off the chain. And I drive one. I suggest you drive one too, because they hire more Americans and manufacture more cars in America than anybody else. That is Ford. Y'all be blessed. Have a great day. Peace, love, and all that. We up out of here. Peace.